Good day, everyone. As we go into the digital era, the Electoral Commission of Ghana is making an effort to digitalize their operations. Today, we'll navigate through potential threat scenarios and explore security measures they must enforce before, during, and after the elections. This task has been assigned to us by Cyber Ghana in the NCCC 2024. I go by the name Eureka Nemedi Medenu, and my team from Mawuli School are
Ado Alexander,
Marvelous Adiola Ajao,
Jessica William, and our main presenter,
Dennis Ephraim Seblan.
Let us embark on this journey, arming ourselves with knowledge to protect our electoral machines and our democracy. Thank you.
The backbone of our democracy is paramount in this digital world we move into. Let's find ways we can mitigate some of these threats that might be posed to our electoral machines during the elections. First of all, an employee within the electoral committee could be bribed by any political party to alter the vote result within the machines that are being used at the collection centers or during transmissions to the fast machines. It's actually going to affect the integrity of the machines, especially those at the collection centers. Do you know that it has actually been identified by the former chairman of the Electoral Commission, Dr. Farijan, during the 60th anniversary of the University of Ghana, that the collection centers are the most vulnerable points for election manipulation? Even updates from True News identify an EC official being bribed by an MP during the Ejisu by-election 2024 in April. For this, a critical threat and has to be paid critical attention to. The Electoral Commission should check the backgrounds of the employees before they employ them and also monitor their activities as they are going about their duties during the elections. Malicious software could also be injected into the machines using pen drive or in the form of links across their networks into their computer systems. Upon clicking on this kind of links, which might contain ransomware, their softwares and machines will be freeze totally. And until they pay a ransom, they are not going to be able to have access to these machines for their operations anymore. So this is going to affect the integrity and availability of these machines, since some of these softwares could also delete some of the electoral data within their database. So the Electoral Commission should implement packet filtering software such as firewalls, which will help to filter the information or the links that will be sent across their networks before it gets into their computer system, and also run anti-malware software on these machines to get rid of all those malicious software that might be hidden within these machines. The machines and the servers with which they are working with will also be overloaded with a lot of information. Remember those days when you are overloaded with a lot of work, just don't know what to do at first? Frustrating, right? Well, that's the same thing that happens to these machines anytime you are overloaded with a lot of information. They tend to break down, causing the now of service alerts to the employees as they are going about their duties. So the Electoral Commission should have load balancers that will help to distribute this loss of information or requests to different servers so that one server doesn't get overloaded with a lot of information, causing the now of service attacks. There could also be power outage during the elections. It's actually going to affect the availability of the machines, since these machines need power in order to run efficiently. The Electoral Commission should have uninterrupted power supply during the elections and also automatic generators that will quickly generate electricity for these machines to operate in any case of power cut. Talking about the physical threats, some devices could have been claimed missing. Well, I'd like you to know that Kevin Maitland actually identified in one of his books, Art of Deception, published in 2002, that the most risky component in any computer system is the human factor. So missing as claimed might not actually be the case, but stolen should be the word. Let's even consider the issue raised by Honorable Asedun Ketia during an interview on Joy News in April 2024, ahead of the 2024 election, concerning some BVRs getting missing. So you see, this is a threat and has to be paid attention to. The Electoral Commission should make sure they keep all these devices and machines in a securely locked room and heavily guarded, at least one guard from all the stakeholders guarding the machines securely, and also making sure they have a limited access control mechanism, which will actually help them to know who is in charge or who is in hold of any of the machines at any point in time, and who to hold responsible in any case there is missing device. Before the election, the Electoral Commission should have the Security Operations Center, which will help them to test all their machines using penetration testing techniques and tools such as NetSparkers and Wireshark, which will actually help them to discover any vulnerability that might be within the machines or their network structures and fix them before the elections. As the vulnerabilities are being discovered and fixed, the Electoral Commission should also regularly update their softwares and firmware to the latest versions of these softwares, because the older versions contain flaws and vulnerabilities that were actually fixed and then updated to the newer version. So working the newer version provide a more secured environment for this collation and transmission processes to ensure that the machines are running efficiently during the elections. Also, the Electoral Commission should organize a security awareness training for all their employees or officials. Statistics from the Verizon 2021 Data Breach Investigation Report identifies that about 85% of the data breach involve the human element, out of which 61% involves the credentials. This emphasizes the role of human error in our electoral processes and the need to involve this cybersecurity training into the training sessions, the normal training sessions of these employees, to enlighten them on the potential threats they might encounter during the elections and how to go about it to make sure the machines keep on running efficiently during the elections. Also, before the elections, the Electoral Commission should have incident response plans which will actually help them to be ready for any natural or artificial disaster that might cause any data loss during the elections. This was actually identified in MSP360.com. So having these backup systems far away from the collation centers and also the storage centers, and also cloud storage, which where they can easily back up their data and regain it in any case of data loss in their local areas, will help them to make sure that the availability of this electoral data and also the machines are well secured. Before the elections as well, the Electoral Commission should have an assurance agreement with all the stakeholders and also the general public. Do you know that in the UK General Data Protection Regulation Act 2018, all EC officials were actually responsible for the security of their electoral machines and also the sensitive data within them? Well, this measure can also be enforced in Ghana, where the Electoral Commission will have an assurance agreement with the general public and also the stakeholders, which will actually keep them on their toes to always update the Electoral Commission and the stakeholders and also the general public on the kind of activities that are going on, assuring us of the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of these machines being protected and upholding our trust in this electoral way or digital way of going about our elections. During the elections, the Electoral Commission should make sure the Security Operating Center is running effectively and monitoring every activity, taking records of every activity that goes on, and also if there is any case of unauthorized or malicious activity that must actually cause risk or threat to the electoral processes, they easily deal with it or resolve it before it causes any harm. The incident response team should also be actively ready within the Electoral Commission with their necessary techniques and tools and plans, such as the Security Information and Event Management framework, which will actually help them to analyze any threat that might emerge during the election and quickly respond to it and to mitigate it or control it before they cause any harm to the electoral processes. During the elections as well, the Electoral Commission should make sure there is uninterrupted power supply, making sure power is always supplied to the machines using automatic generators that quickly generate electricity for these machines to operate in any case of power cut. This would have actually helped to resolve the issue that happened in Woyomen electoral area, where the coalition centers actually experienced a doomsaw during the elections. After the elections, the Electoral Commission should also review all these logs together with the security analysts, finding weaknesses within their network structure and how to actually find ways to mitigate them to make sure their network structure is more secured in the subsequent elections to come, so that the subsequent elections, the electoral machines will be well secured, upholding our trust and our confidence in this digital way of going about our elections. After elections as well, the Electoral Commission should organize its employees, its officials, and then have a security meeting with them, having a lesson learned meeting with them, where they all come up with their ideas, the kind of activities they engage in that actually pose risk or threats to the electoral processes, and find ways to come up with actionable strategies that will actually help them to secure the electoral machines in the upcoming or subsequent elections to come. While having navigated through all these security measures, I would like to call on my co-presenter, Eureka Medenu. Just as a code doesn't end or cannot end with its closing bracket, we want to conclude by calling in my co-presenter, Eureka Medenu. Thank you.
To sum it all up, if the Electoral Commission is able to put these measures in place, the backbone of our democracy, which is its elections, should be very well secured. Thank you.